Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, I'm Anggun Octaviani. I'm majoring in English education, and now I'd like to tell you about the intrinsic and extrinsic elements of the fiction. Before we begin, we all know what is fiction is. Fiction is a text based on the author's imagination in the form of fantasy, so that what is written by the author is an imagination written such as novel, short story, fable, poetry, and drama script. Okay, we start from intrinsic elements. Intrinsic elements are elements that build the fiction from within. There are 8 consists of the intrinsic elements of fiction. Number 1 is theme. Theme is the idea or thought behind the story. To be able to find out the theme, you have to know the entire content of the story and the series of events or plot in the fiction. Example of them in fiction, for example, about friendship, romance, memorable experience, health, the environment, history, and so on. Number 2 is characters. Characters are actors who carry about event in a story. Based on the grouping, there are three types of character, namely protagonist as a main character, antagonist as a opponent of the main character, and the protagonist as a middleman of the supporting character. Number 3 is characterization. Characterization is the author's way of describing the characteristic of the characters in the story. Number 4 is plot. Plot is a sequence of events or events that from a story. In general, storylines are divided into 3 types. First one is progressive plot. Progressive plot is a plot that has a sequential structure start from introduction, events, conflict, and resolution. The second is a backward plot. A backward plot is a plot that starts from the last event. Backward plot is usually used to tell a flashback of past event. And the last one is mixed plot. Mixed plot is a combined plot of a progressive plot and backward plot. Stories are usually told sequentially, while interesting stories from the past and present. Number 5 is background or setting. Background or setting includes time, space or place, and atmosphere. Atmosphere regarding the course of a story. Setting is divided into 3 main elements, namely place setting, time setting, social setting. Number 6 is point of view. Point of view is the author's position in telling the story. The author's point of view consists of 3, namely first, second, third person point of view. The mandate is the message conveyed by the author. Usually, the mandate implied in the content of the story and contains advice or a moral message which is intended for the reader of reflect on. And the last number 8 is language style. Talk language style is it making the fiction more interesting and also has an emotional influence and effect on the reader. Okay, now we move to extrinsic elements. Extrinsic elements are elements that build fiction that come from outside the fiction. There are three consists of the intrinsic elements. The first one is community background. Community background, usually this background contains habits or customs or situation and interaction that occur in the fiction. The secondly is author's background. The author's background can contain author's life history, scientific knowledge, psychologist condition, influence, or literary genre adopt, and so on. And the last one is applicable values and norms. In order for literary works to be accepted by society, the authors will not produce fiction that are contrary to the norms that apply in society. Okay, the conclusion is intrinsic and extrinsic elements have a very important and is inseparable role in shaping a fiction story because this will form a story with complex characteristics and messages that are conveyed to reader and viewers. Okay, that's all from me. The last I say thank you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.